Okay, so as an entrepreneur, or really with anything that you're trying to do, there is this thing called shiny red object syndrome, where as entrepreneurs, we'll jump from one idea to another, to another, to another, because something sounds easier. It sounds like we're going to be able to accomplish it quicker. But when we start that new idea, it ends up flopping because we never even solve the initial problem that we were struggling with in the first place, which 10 times out of 10 is your inability to focus on just one thing. Me and my last check were talking about this today during my appointment, how like sometimes we'll jump from selling one product to another, to another, to another, because we think that the product we're currently trying to sell just isn't good enough. But this product over here, like maybe a one-on-one call or maybe a private community or maybe a physical product, that thing would be easier to sell. We would make money more quickly because it's just a better idea. But it's not a better idea. The problem is you just struggle with sticking to the same thing, even if you're not getting the results that you want. And you'll quickly realize once you jump to that new idea, that new idea, whatever it is, has problems too. You just didn't see it because you were just focused on that shiny new red object. I am here to tell you that it is not your product, and you will waste time bouncing from one idea to the next and next. And also, it's probably not even really your price. The problem that you're probably struggling with, and again, I was guilty of this too. I used to hop from one idea to another, to another, to another. I told you guys this 10 million times, is you struggle with marketing. You struggle with creating enough content. I think a lot of times people underestimate how much content it takes to make an impact. We are in a time where so many people are aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring content creators, aspiring influencers, right? There are more people online creating than ever before. In order to stand out, you are going to have to post more than what you're doing. And the crazy thing is, sometimes you think that you're already posting enough, right? You might be posting once a day. You might be posting once every other day. You might be posting 4 times a week. Well, baby girl, baby girl, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Listen, take it from me. I have been an online entrepreneur now for 6 years full time. You haven't even began to scratch the surface. I don't want to overwhelm you and I don't want to scare you, but I'm going to need you to rev that up. I'm going to need you to go 10 times harder than what you're already doing. So if you're already at the point where you're posting once a day, baby girl, I'm going to need you to up it to 5 times a day, 10 times a day, and beyond. And I know that sounds crazy. And some of you guys might be like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to post that much? Like what? You're not creating enough. I've told you guys in previous videos, I feel like I repeat myself, but I know I have new viewers, so I'm just going to keep repeating myself. I told you guys in other videos, it is so much easier to create long form YouTube videos like what I'm doing right here, and then have these videos chopped up into reels than for you to create 50 different reels. The reason why I'm able to produce as much content as I do is because I do YouTube, so the video is horizontal, and then I have my assistant chop that horizontal video up into 9x16s, which is the vertical, and then that's what gets posted to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, and wherever else it goes, right? That's how you get more done. That's why I'm always pushing out YouTube videos, right? Because these get chopped up into reels. And then on top of them getting chopped up into reels and being posted on different platforms, I have multiple accounts on each platform. Something else that I want you guys to understand is this too. I create different types of content. So that's even more types of content getting pushed out. That helps me figure out what works and what doesn't. That's what helps me have more of a variation of what's getting posted. And that's what's going to help you too. So I recently decided to start recording gym content. And this information I'm giving you is particularly for my OnlyFans business. But I truly believe, you can't convince me otherwise, content is content. And no matter what product it is that you're selling, the same thing applies, okay? And I know it applies because I sold Glow Up Academy, right? I recently started recording, did it, but I stopped. I used to create fitness content when I lost 100 pounds, right? And I would bring my camera to the gym and record my workouts. But I kind of stopped that for about a year and a half and focused on my coaching business. Well, I recently decided to start that back up, right? And my workouts with my trainer, they're about 70 minutes or so. Sometimes he go 90 minutes. But either way, I had so much content. I only started recording in the past 2 workouts, right? But I brought my camera with me to the gym. I got so much content out of that. And yeah, I'm wearing the same outfit, right, for that gym workout. But I have there's probably about 30 reel clips in there. I was able to make 2 YouTube videos out of what I recorded. Like, it's just so much content. And that was just that one gym day. And then I brought my camera again the next day, which was yesterday. Same thing, got a crap ton of content, right? And that content can be posted for a couple of days. Like, that's how many reels and different angles and things that I was able to get just from a 80 minutes gym session, right? I want you guys, instead of getting overwhelmed and feeling like you just don't have enough content to post 5 times a day, 10 times a day, start recording more of what you do and stop overthinking it. I was telling my last check, a lot of times we think that we have to have all these new ideas. You really don't. Why don't you just record what you were already going to do anyways? Just record what you were already going to do anyways. I was already going to go to the gym. So me making gym content, that's lifestyle content, that's motivational content, because I tell y'all all the time, get your ass in the gym, right? That's content for my OnlyFans. There's so many pieces of content and so many different purposes that gym session content can get distributed for. Maybe you're someone who loves to clean. Well, record yourself cleaning up different parts of your house, and then you can tie that into whatever it is that you're selling for your business. Because this is the thing, people buy from people. I'm going to say that again. People buy from people, okay? People buy from people that they like. So the more that people can feel like they know you, the more they'll be willing to buy from you when they're ready to buy. So let me break this down. Maybe you want to teach people how to, I don't know. Okay, maybe you like to cook, and so you want to sell cooking. Maybe you want a private community on Skool or something like that, and you want to be able to drop new recipes that you made, blah, 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 right? Okay. But there's also 50 other creators who cook, who have a private Skool community, who are dropping recipes, right? And so in your mind, you're probably like, well, why would someone buy my private community when there's so many other people selling private communities on how to cook? Because they like you. Because you've created so much content, not only showing people how to cook, but showing people your personality. Showing people who you are outside of the kitchen. Maybe you share a little bit about your family. Now, I'm not telling you to put all your dirty laundry out on the internet. It's not what I said. Maybe you show that you also like to work out. Maybe you show that you also like to organize your space. You're very clean. Maybe you show things that you do to keep the weight off, even though you love to cook unhealthy foods. Maybe you enjoy getting your nails done or doing self-care days, so you take your audience with you on that get ready with me day, or come spend the day with me at the spa. Maybe you love to do tennis, so you show that. People buy into people. They're going to buy into you. The more that people can feel like they know you, the more they're going to want to buy whatever it is that you sell. And that's where people miss the plot. So instead of you trying to overthink, well, what kind of content, how am I going to post 10 times a day, yada, 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 just record what you already do. I'm not telling you to manufacture a life. I'm not telling you to go run up credit cards and pretend that you live this lavish life. I didn't tell you to do any of that. All I told you to do was just make content doing what you were going to do anyways. Maybe you work, and so maybe you have a 30-minute commute to work. Well, why don't you get one of those tripods that the DoorDash drivers and Instacart drivers have with the GPS for their phone? Get you one of those, stick that on your dashboard in your car, and record yourself while you're driving and talk about whatever. Talk about whatever. Now that 30-minute drive that you took, you got 30 minutes worth of content. Make sure you have some different talking points before you even start driving, things that you know you want to talk about on that drive, and then have that chopped up into reels. Now you got your 10 pieces of content. Now people get to know more about you and your mindset and the way you think, who you are as a person outside of the kitchen, right? It's really not as hard as we tend to make it. But it doesn't matter what business idea you have or what new idea pops into your head, you will continue to run into the same problem until you fix what you're struggling with, which most of the time is you're just, one, not producing enough content, you're not marketing enough, you're not locked in as much as you think you are, and you could do more. And that's the truth. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I cannot wait to read what you have to say. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do not forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.